some glasses from some of you because I don't have mine available. If I could use yours just for a second. No, I'm not going to read it. I'm going to show. Thank you. So when Renee puts on her qualitative glasses, right, and she can't see, when she puts on the qualitative glasses, then the lens through which she's viewing the research is through these glasses, which means I'm stating qualitative so I'm saying I'm going to be very subjective. I'm participating in the research. I am the instrument gatherer. I gather the information, so it's based on my perception. If you do autoethnography, you can write your own story there. It's about you. And if I gave the glasses to him and he used the same glasses, his story would be different because it's going to be his story. So the qualitative paradigm allows for subjectivity. You become the person, the instrument gatherer, the data gatherer. So it's how you get the data in. So you follow the stories. Turn back to my research, or the research done about forgiveness. In that case, she walked through their stories. It's how she understood their stories. It's how they trusted her in terms of the stories, but it was the glasses that she used in order to write that up. On the other hand, thank you. I need another pair of glasses. Thank you. So if I have another pair of glasses on, and these are my quantitative glasses, and I tell you up front, for the purposes of this study, I'm going to put on my quantitative glasses, you understand that I'm going to be objective. I say the white-coated scientist, which means I stand back and I observe what's going on there, but I'm not interfering. Normally the data would come to me in numbers, not in people's opinions and stories and ideas, but in numbers. I can do calculations with him, and I can't change it. Which means if you put on these glasses, the quantitative glasses, your results looks cool. Looks cool. Can she have them?
No.
So when she puts on the quantitative glasses, it means that when she repeats my research, she has to come up with the same conclusions that I did. But you know that you have to have my conclusions, because our research through these glasses will be reliable. What does reliable mean? It means there's generalizability, i.e. anybody else conducting the same research needs to come to the same conclusions. If I did those glasses, it doesn't matter. Because with those glasses, why are you so shy offering me your glasses? No. If I use these, I don't intend to generalize. What I want to do is to add a lot of depth to the body knowledge that is about this subject. And my contribution will be here, and your contribution, if I give the glasses to you, would be next to mine, and if you give the glasses to her, it would be there. We all add to the same body, but we're not getting the same results. It doesn't matter. Now, normally, if there's a subject in which there's very little work done, so you don't have prior knowledge, it makes sense to use a qualitative paradigm, doesn't it? Because a qualitative paradigm will allow you to go find what there hasn't been before. Quantitative research, these classes, expect that there are some observations and ideas already, and you're going to formulate a statement, which is a statistical hypothesis, based on those prior information available, and test whether that is true. So with these classes, these are my quantitative classes, I am deductive. I am deducing. There are observations, and I'm testing whether those observations are true. With my qualitative classes, I am inductive. I'm growing the body knowledge from something small here into something big. And the nice thing is, if I did them both, if I had a quantitative research design and a qualitative research design, i.e. I'm mixing the method, I get the ultimate answer, don't I? Because on the quantitative side, the reliability is high, i.e. the generalizability is good, although the validity isn't good, i.e. I'm not too sure that I'm always testing what I'm supposed to test. Why? Because I'm not interfering. On the qualitative side, with her glasses, the reliability is low. She doesn't want good reliability, do you? No, say no you don't. There's a script here, you've got to follow the script. On the qualitative side, it's not about the generalizability, it is about the extent of the depth of the information. And all of us on the qualitative side add more and more. So our validity is really high, but we don't mind about reliability. In fact, we measure the quality of our research in terms of the trustworthiness of our results. So now we're mixing the two methods. You could do quantitative, I'm sorry, you have your glasses, thank you. If you mix the two methods, you could do quantitative and qualitative, and together they give you the best answer. That's called triangulation. So you have opinions from the quantitative side, good reliability, good validity. You have opinions from the qualitative side, good validity, not so good reliability, not necessary to even look into reliability. Triangulating them both gives you all options. Good reliability, good validity. Or I could do first the one and then the other. I could start my research doing qualitative research, exploring the broad domain of what there is. If we're honest, actually, doing a literature study is qualitative research. It's content analysis if you think about it, excepting no examiner will allow that for you as your qualitative research, but it's part of your qualitative research. So on the qualitative side, you explore open-ended the body of knowledge in that field, interviews, observations, document analyses, all of those. Out of that, you can probably identify some themes. Now you take that into phase 2. In phase 2, you do quantitative analyses. So you have qualitative followed by quantitative. That's mixed methods. It's coming from the broad and the deep to the specific on the quantitative side. Third option. You can start with quantitative research. So you are observing, there's a survey, the responses come back to you in Excel or SPSS, and look, here are the results. No interference. Now that you have the results, you think, why would this be so? Why? So, after that, you go do interviews to determine why the results were as they were. So, quantitative first, qualitative second. Again, mixing the two methods. In my opinion, when you do a PhD, you want to look at an issue through both these methods because it shows your understanding of research design and it ensures the highest possible quality in terms of your research. For a master's degree, I don't think that's critical. But I think if you do a PhD, your best option would be to set your research up so that you have qualitative research, the one lens, and quantitative research, the other lens, and mix them. Either by triangulation, where you do them both, and together they give you an answer, or by following the one and then supporting that by the next, in which case your research is actually sequential. Does that make sense? Questions from your side about this? You're welcome.
Do you have a problem if you